Hello, we're back, and we're going on to video 2. Now that we know how to care for ourselves, we're going to learn how to care for our children. Today we'll talk about younger children and older children and the grief feelings that they have. Remember, you know your child best. And what we talk about today are normal feelings and reactions. Younger children are concerned about the 4 C's. Here are some questions that you may hear. The 4 C's are catch, cause, cure, and care. Your child may think, I can catch this. Reassure them that they cannot catch the illness or death. It is not contagious. Did I cause this? Did I say something before they died? Is it my fault? Kids often feel guilty. Reassure them again that they did not cause the death or their illness. Could I have cured it? Again, reassure the child that the death was beyond their control and nothing could have been done to prevent it. Who is going to care for me now that my parent has died? They're concerned. Will my other parent die? Who will look after me? Talk to the child and let them know who will take care of them. And talk about the names of people who care about them. Use honest language. Say death, died, dying. The person's heart stopped. Meet the child where they are, and they may be different from where you are. Don't diminish what they are saying with you. Children have a lot of questions. Meet them where they are. And most likely, their feelings will be different than yours. Younger children grieve in small windows of time, sometimes called grief bursts. They move in and out of their feelings. That is normal. They may be talking about their grief feelings, and 10 minutes later, they go outside to play. This is normal. Just be aware that children's grief is also sometimes shown with physical feelings. I have a tummy ache. I'm tired. My shoulders are sore. But maybe they just need a hug. And allow yourself to feel uncomfortable while you're listening or hearing their questions. Again, don't diminish what they are saying. Be honest. Children often express their grief while doing an activity. It's not about finishing the activity. It's about taking their mind elsewhere so the conversation flows. Children's grief feelings mature as they age. This is normal. And they may ask new questions. Again, answer them honestly. Look into their eyes, get down on their level, and use their names. It's hard for them to say, I need your help. And sometimes they just say, will you come and play with me? Kids can feel unheard, and this is why connection and relationships are so important. Older children just want to be normal, but they are thinking, will my other parent die? Teens don't expect their peers to die. What about the new financial insecurities? Will I have to move? Will my dead brother be the hero and I have to compare Will I have to look after my younger siblings? Older children can isolate. They have overwhelming loneliness. They can have complete detachment from their school and their friends. Or they may want to cover their feelings with parties, alcohol, and drug use. Anything is better than how they feel now. The second leading cause of death in North America for people 15 to age 29 is suicide. It's real. It's haunting. And we need to know it. We need to face it. It's a sobering thought. It's heart-wrenching. Nothing can replace face-to-face connection. Be there to listen. If we can, we have the important task of listening to them. Listening, the greatest gift you can give to another person. Meeting them where they are. You know your kids best. Listen to your gut. Trust your instinct. And if you need to, call the doctor. And now we're going to have a conversation about this video and how we can help our children.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Faye.
Before we start our discussion today, would you like to introduce yourself and share with us the loss and losses that you've experienced and why you might be here today?
My name is Brandy, and I've had the privilege to be a Rainbows facilitator and a site coordinator for I don't know how many years with hospice societies. But what brought me was just my own personal grief and loss was losing my mom at a young age, and then just having a lot of it in my life. So it's been cool to be able to walk with other families and with children through their loss and grief, and to be able to connect and understand with some of the little ones that we have worked with. So and in my job, I do see it often. So I appreciate that I've been able to learn lots from Rainbows.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Catherine. I've been with hospice for over 20 years and first experienced loss at age 10 when my father died. My daughter died 19 years ago, Christmas Eve, and my mother died the next year on Boxing Day.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. As adults who've experienced grief head on, we run into people, and perhaps even some in our own bubbles, where not everyone knows how to walk with someone who's actively grieving. I can well imagine our children experience that daily as well, and hard days ensue. So how do children in your care experience these hard days? And what kind of communication styles do they use?
When my daughter died, I had 2 children in university, and it threw them into a tailspin. And both of them actually failed classes just because they didn't know what to do. They were both living away from home and really didn't have the support. And in hindsight, we probably should have, just stopped that semester and gone forward. And for my grandchildren, they were very young when their mother died. They were 13 months and 3. But as they got a little bit older and they would go to school, and sometimes kids would make comments to them, and it'd be very upsetting. And then they're carrying that, all those feelings inside of them till they got home.
It must have been very hard.
It was.
We see it differently just because I work with children, and we see it them with like outbursts, like little grief outbursts. And sometimes it's just throwing something or getting angry for no reason and getting upset. So a lot of times it's also then taking the time to connect with them and to build that rapport that they have someone they can come to. And a lot of times it's just asking them, hey, do you need a hug? Or
Yes,
do you
it
need
is.
to get a glass of water? As simple as that is. So for us, that's how we've been able to work and support, in a way, children to just walk through that. Because, I mean, like we've said it, you know, we don't know when it's going to happen, and they don't know. And a 5-year-old has no idea when it's going to approach or happen. So we're just there. We're just that person in that relationship they know they have.
That's right. It's so important to be that trusting adult and to meet them where they're at when they're talking, and validate their feelings of sadness, because those are their true feelings, and getting those feelings out just helps peel away the layers of grief.
And it helps the parents too, because we make sure to communicate with them as to what, you know, how their day went, and that, you know, today they were sad because of this. And then the parents know that when they're going home that they have, okay, wait, this could happen again. And what do I need to do to be prepared? So it's taking care of themselves just as much as taking care of their little person in their home. So
It is. And it's about all the connections and relationships that you have, and building the trust for the kids, and the kids knowing it's okay to share their own grief.
When my dad died, my grandchildren are 10 and 5, and they had no reaction right away when we told them that my dad had died. But months later, my grandson wanted a picture of my dad by his bed. And so it was awesome that my daughter was able to actually hear the grief in that and allow that to happen. And we've learned that actually listening is the most important thing that we can give our children when it comes to helping them grieve. Yeah. Would you agree with that statement? And how has that played out for you?
Absolutely.
100%.
Listening is the greatest gift that you can give to another person, whether it be an adult or a child, validating them.
Because they may feel like no one's understands and no one hears. I mean, I can remember like when I was going through our loss, you know, you get looked at funny and you're like, oh, what's your problem? Because you're crying or you're having moments. But I mean, like, again, if you're 5 and you're not understanding and comprehending either. So we just make sure to be there and be present, and to know that they just need that care. I mean, parents, again, are the best. They know their kids best, so it's nice when they can share with us as much as we can share. And I mean, we're just part of another bigger circle.
I know I missed hearing some things that when my daughter tried to tell me that she was grieving. Have any of you experienced that too, or you've totally missed it? You were busy with life?
Unfortunately, I have. I think it's because, I'd like to say it's because I was so much in my own grief that I was missing theirs, and I was trying to be there for my husband and trying to be there for my kids, and yeah, I have missed it. And I've admitted that later on.
It's a tough one though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When we get so busy with life.
Well, we have our agenda. I mean, you work with kids, you have a routine, you expect them to, like when we're getting ready for outside, it's put your boots on, put your shoes on, and you feel like you're a broken record. But then they're having a meltdown and you're like losing your marbles because they're not listening, but not realizing, like, wait a second, what's really going on? So how come we're not taking that step back? And I mean, we've had to say, okay, look, everybody else is ready. Okay, it's just me and you. What's going on? What's happening? But yeah, 100%. Sometimes it's like the agenda's here. We're doing it now.
Yeah, you do it now, and you look at them. You get down on their level, and
Just
let
listen.
let them share their story. Yeah.
So if we were to offer a lifeline to other parents who are currently trying their best to help their children grieve, what would that lifeline be for you?
Always be there.
Yeah.
You know what? Even if it's just moments or minutes or little windows of time. Be there to listen to them. Meet them where they are.
Yep. And I think also just stop, take a breath. If you need to take a step back, take a step back. And I mean, as caregivers, we forget that a lot of times because we're in that moment of go, 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 and forgetting to say to ourselves, wait, what do I need right at this moment? I need to stop and I need a drink of water. So to take those times, but also to be aware of what's going on. And again, it's connection and building that with those little people and knowing that they're there.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, it would be a visual of a heart with ears and no mouth, where the heart just listens.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
mouth says nothing about judgment or it's wrong to feel that way or
That's right.
it's a bad time to feel that way, but just be a heart with ears. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
You're
And I
welcome.
think it's safe to say that our ability to guide our children effectively in dealing with all of the changes in their lives, whether it be large or small, will enhance the ability to for them to participate in a full and happy life.
Yes. Thank you, Faye.
thank you,
Thank you.
Faye.